Hey, welcome to another concept training video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about lead generation. Specifically, we're going to talk about 3 key components when setting up a lead generation initiative. My name is Dan Harsh. I'm the founder and the owner of Concept, and let's jump right in. 3 things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about assessment, we're going to talk about messaging, and we're going to talk about delivery. And what do I mean by those? Let's jump into assessment. When we sit down with a client, one of the first things that we talk to them about is their market. And we try to get an assessment of their market. Tell me a little bit about your market. Tell me about what are their requirements? What are their needs? What are they searching for? Why are they searching for those types of things? What are their pains? What are their wants? It's important that we identify that because we have to align that with our services. So we spend a lot of time on assessing the market. And we go through lots of questions trying to make sure we have a good understanding of the market. Once we identify that market, then we talk about the client's product. Tell me about your product. Tell me about your service. Why is your product or your service a solution for the market? How does your features, your benefits, your value, how does that meet their needs, their demands, their requirements, their want? Tell me about that alignment. And it's very important that we talk about both of those and make sure that we have a very good understanding of both of those. I think a lot of times what happens is companies look at their product, their service, and they come up with all of these values or features or benefits of why their product or their service is good. And that's what they talk about. And they don't spend a lot of time really talking about, is that meeting the needs of the market? Is that meeting what the market needs? So as we lay that out, we make sure we have a very good understanding of the market, and then we have a very good understanding of the product or service that we're going to be talking about. These 2 things need to be validated. When we assess the market, we got to make sure it's true. We can't always just go by what we think. We got to validate. It's not based on what we think. It's based on what the market thinks. So in some respects, it doesn't matter what we think or what our view is. What matters is what the market's view is. What does the market feel their pain is? What does the market feel their need is? What does the market feel their requirements are? We have to validate that the same as we have to validate our product, our service. We got to validate that our product and our service is matching or meeting those needs. So the key thing to grab from this is making sure you have a very true, accurate understanding of the market, and then making sure you have a very true and accurate understanding of your product or service and how your product or service is going to meet the needs of the market. The reason we have to spend time there is because that is what's going to drive our messaging. We talked about we have a product. We have a service. There's a market out there that we've identified has a need. They have requirements. They have a want. And now we have to position our product or our service to meet those needs. And as you put your messaging together, there's some things that your messaging has or must align with. We have to, our message, when we put our messaging together, we have to address the prospect's requirements. Our messaging must solve the prospect's wants or desires. Our messaging has to focus on the prospect's pain. It has to meet their needs. So as you put your messaging together, you can't just put messaging together that sounds good to you. Or you can't even put messaging together that makes your product or your service sound good or look good in your eyes. Because it doesn't matter. It has to meet the prospect's requirements. It has to solve their pains, their needs. Very important to keep in mind. And I think one of the pitfalls when companies go through assessing the market and assessing their product and putting a message together, often they're too quick to get that message out that they're moving with wrong assumptions or wrong assessments, either on the market side or on their product side. And they're not spending the time to really hone in on what's real and then put their messaging together based on that. Your messaging has to resonate with the prospect. It can't just resonate with you. You're not the buyer. The market, the prospect is the buyer. So your messaging has to resonate with them. And then so once you get all your messaging put together and you're using words, etc., that resonate with the market, we then have to determine how am I going to deliver that message. We're comfortable at this point that we understand the market. We're comfortable at this point we understand their needs, their pains, their requirements. We're comfortable at this point now that we know where our product or our service fits in the market. We're comfortable now, we've validated how our product or service will meet their needs, their wants, their demands. We're making sure that we're addressing their pains. We have a good message now. That message is addressing their pains, their wants, their desires, their requirements. So now how am I going to deliver that to the market? There's lots of ways to deliver your message. I think in today's market, you have to have a multi-channel approach. You have to be hitting the market from several different channels, whether that's outbound calling, paid search, email, social, or a combination of all of that. I think that is very, very important. We don't know what or where these prospects are going to be sitting all the time. We don't know what is going to cause them to make an action or a reaction. We don't know if email is going to do it. We don't know if calling is going to do it. We don't know if a video is going to do it. We don't know if maybe they're out searching. They're probably doing all of that. And when you have a whole market that bits and pieces or fragments of that market, they're all doing different things. We have to be out there all the time in each of those channels with that message. And so as you're putting your message together, you're going to be thinking about what is that message going to sound like? What's it going to look like? What's it going to be made of? Am I going to have links in an email? Am I going to have videos? Am I having visuals? What word choice am I using? I got to use words that resonate. I got to use that vernacular that the market is using. How am I going to deliver that message? And what components are going to be included in that messaging? Very important that you have CRM. CRM can drive a lot of this. You've heard of marketing automation. You've heard of sequencing and cadences. Very important that you're leveraging CRM to take advantage of that type of automation so you can cover the market very quickly, very efficiently. So as we kind of wrap this video up, and I mentioned this would be a short video, you want to make sure you have a good assessment of the market. It's validated. You know what their needs are, what their pains are. You want to have a good assessment of your product, your service. Where does that fit in the market? What are the real benefits? What is the real value? What are the real features of your product, your service? How do those features meet the prospect's requirements? How do they solve their demands? How am I meeting what they want? And then lastly is, what is that message? How do I bring that together? And then how am I going to deliver that? That is what we do at Concept. We bring all that together. It's a task. It takes time, but it's worth the time. If you do not take the time to do that, you're spinning your wheels. You're like that gerbil in the wheel. You're just moving. You want to take this time up front in identifying these areas and then go to work. Hey, thanks for tuning into this video today. Once again, my name is Dan Harsh. I'm the founder, the owner of Concept. You can reach out to us, conceptltd.com. We would love to hear from you. If you have these types of needs, we would love to talk to you. Thanks for tuning in.